Hello and welcome back to Pathologic Classic HD. We are going to continue on from where we left off, after having talked to Sticky, which is a delightful name for a small child. Sticky told us about the infected houses, which are somewhere a little bit south of his house. These infected houses had quote-unquote scabs all over the walls, and bloody fat. I'm disinclined to believe him. Mainly because I don't think that houses can really grow scabs. And I'm not really convinced that what he was describing was bloody fat. I'd be slightly more convinced by the idea of it being red mold, though. Oh, 14 water bottles, Jesus. That's what all my bin raking is for. So, around the corner we go. I'm going to save before entering this house, because this might not go well. Put on some protection to at least vaguely protect me against whatever the fuck is going on here. No upstairs. So, Simon's house, as you can see, is very, very fucked up. It's gone all mouldy and dying. You should probably not wonder too much about it in infected areas. Who is it? Is that a person? Will you help me? What's wrong with you? Can't you see me? It's so hot. It hurts. My head is about to burst, blood curdling in my veins. It screamed, but I don't want the children to hear. There are no children here. I keep hearing children's voices. The girl is crying, the boy is laughing. We mustn't scare them. Don't tell them and don't let them in here. You're delirious. There is no one here. Don't come close. We are dying already. I told my sisters not to go outside, so they're shambling around the house. Who's shambling around the house, and why? Just don't kill us. Don't kill them if they ask for help. Their mind is clouded with pain. They can't even find each other. They're only praying. Don't come close to them. Step away from me too. Make them stop following me then. Why are they constantly on my heels? They're supposed to be lying down. Take the key. We'll be able to open the door if we lose consciousness. Hold on. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. They're after me. They're after me. Ugh. What you didn't see in this recording was the fact that I actually attempted that several times. The women that do try and chase after you there, they aren't fully themselves. They are infected with the plague. And what's more, they do infect you if you go too near them. I am not fully willing to be infected this early on in the game. Generally speaking, I'm not really willing to be infected at all if I can at all help it, but I think sometimes we have to make some concessions for the sake of immersiveness. Regardless, that bit always does make my heart pound a little bit. There's another playthrough by a gentleman named Dorian Dawes who shows you a little bit what happens to those two women in a little bit more detail. Anyway.
Yes.
I'm listening, Bachelor. I found proof, Governor. Here's a key to the house where several people are dying in agony and we're waiting for anyone to examine them. Will that be enough? We've already received a report of your spectacular success. News of your deeds precede you. Now I want you to personally convey your opinion on what you've witnessed to Kaine and Olgimsky. Then we can consider your mission complete. Why can't someone else do that? Please, I would like them to hear it from you, not from me. Very well. So we have to now go and deliver the message to the other members of the Great Houses. Ugh. Lots of walking. My hypothesis was true. However, two-faced the powers that be, maybe their information was correct. There was an outbreak of a highly contagious disease in the town. Georgia Kaine and Vlad Olgimsky. Every time. I'm mispronouncing everyone. Are at the head of the ruling families. They will need to be notified before anything else, and then I can take up my duties. In the meantime, let's go have a chat to the other folks. So, Peter isn't going to join us, unfortunately, on our desperate bid to escape from this now cursed town. Hey there, kid. Got any bullets? Ooh, yes she does. It's not worth buying any more food today, I don't think, given the prices are so high. I'm hoping that they may fall soon, but I genuinely don't remember how long that might take. So I may have to subsist on a fairly minimal amount of food for a little while. But that's okay. I'm sure I can survive. Not too dissimilar to my real life self. Okay, Andre, your brother is ridiculous.
Fortune appears so blind to none as to those to whom she has done no good. That was an aphorism.
Jesus fuck. Peter doesn't believe me either. What is wrong with you people? How can I persuade him? And rightly so. Take a look around. You should have seen what the crude sprawl looked like during the outbreak. As that barrack locked up were literally in agony, their walls swollen with boils, their windows covered in scarlet mould. There were blisters everywhere, blood mixed with ichor was flowing from the chimneys. That's how it was. Metaphors. No, I'm not being metaphoric, these are facts. There was moaning and howling all over the earth, moaning louder than moaning siren at works. Tormented with screaming so loudly glass would break in the windows. It happened over the course of several hours. That is what the sand pest is, so knock your bullshit off. Okay, what can persuade Peter? And convincing discovery supporting your theory could help. That outbreak has left a dreary impression on Peter. He's been heavily into Twirian since then, but there is no sand plague in town, so poor you. Tell Eva that the plan fell through because of Peter. Perhaps that will comfort her. I'll communicate that to Eva. So, the brothers Stamerton are not going to come with us. Although I'm unconvinced that I can't somehow persuade Peter in another way instead. Onwards we must go then. So, next stop, Vlad the Elder. Always a good idea to have your pistol fully stocked with ammunition. Unfortunately, it's a lot more difficult than it sounds. Oh, the creaking of the factories always just makes me slightly wary. Hello, little one. Useful. How about you? Yes, I could use one of those. How are you? Also nothing useful.
Well, under the circumstances, any inheritance would be opportune.
See what you've done, Doctor? You won't be able to leave this place now. The town is blocked off. I transferred my powers over to Saburov. He didn't hesitate to express his gratitude by assigning me the position of an intendant. I'm in charge of equipping and maintaining infirmaries. I'm sure the train's not the only line of communication with the rest of the world. It is. The station's shut off, but it will be open when a regular freight train arrives. It will definitely be, Doctor. That's when we'll discuss how to snatch ourselves a vehicle there. Thank you, but I have no plans to leave at the moment, especially no illegal plans. Pity. I wanted to ask a favour of you in return, but I will do that later. I want you to get to know your new allies better, the Kaines and the Saburovs. Otherwise it will be less dramatic. We will have the opportunity to come to an agreement. Despite the retranslation, there are elements of the dialogue which don't always flow. And there are times that it does certainly feel like my responses aren't necessarily completely in line with the rest of the conversation. So we're now going to go and visit the Kaines, but with perhaps a quick stop off to say hello to Lara and give her all the food that we've been trying to stockpile for her. I genuinely think that what she's trying to do is a good thing. She has some good ideas, and she's doing her best for them, and that's important, I think. There's not that many people in the town which seem so intent on fighting itself that I would necessarily trust, but Lara seems to have a decent idea of what's going on. Yulia as well. I feel a little bit bad about abandoning them, but there are perhaps more important things at stake. Darn. So, unfortunately, still not much in the way of useful items from the small children. Some bullets from the teenagers, which is still useful. However, I'm searching for something slightly more valuable than bullets. Time is now midday. I'm making good time. Easy there, why are you running so fast? Shopping. Everything's getting so pricey. The prices are rising by leaps and bounds. Literally by the hour, and I mean it. An hour ago, butter cost 100, now it's 500. Can't even imagine what it'll be like by the evening. What am I supposed to tell Mum? You afraid your mother's gonna scold you? Mum sent us all shopping. Told us to look all over the town and buy everything we can. Obviously, first and foremost, it's sugar, salt, flour, bread, fish. Oops, no fish, no meat. What else? I forgot. I would also recommend buying vitamins and antibiotics. Do you have a drugstore around here? There's various drugstores. They'll come in handy later. I think that the flavor text is quite important. Even if I do sometimes pass these small children and older children by. But they are nevertheless extras.
What?
Why are the three ruling families at odds? The lust for profit and ambition have nothing to do with it. I think they're simply confused. Final balance point is destroyed, and our whole life is going down before our very eyes. Why are they confused? Here's how it used to be. Saburov was the official leader, but Katerina was the weakest mistress. The brilliant prophetess Nina was Victor's wife, and the youngest Kaine held no real power. Vlad was the richest, but Victoria stopped him from abusing his resources. So, what happened next? Nina died. The Kaines would have lost the power over the soul of the town, but Simon seemed to have absorbed her spirit. Simon didn't rule, he was a creator. Katerina, who'd been inclined towards darkness before, became the Black Mistress. But she was held back by the White Mistress Victoria. The balance was restored. When Victoria died, Katerina rushed to take her place. She was quite afraid of playing games with Mother Darkness by then. The last of the mistresses was struggling and throwing herself from one extreme to another, Her fiasco was made up for by Simon. He transferred all the executive power over to Saburov, but brilliantly held the soul of the town still in his grasp. And now none of the rulers know what family is in charge of what. More or less. I've a curious idea of government around here.
Who will take on the responsibility for us?
Here's what you asked for. Is this all you've managed to buy? Yes. You need to bring it over to the empty house in the flank. I showed you the way before, remember? My friends and an attendant that had helped us with the shopping are waiting there already. I'll be back soon. An empty house in the flank. Got it. Hopefully, it should go well. And we can carry on with the preparations, at least a little bit. Darn. Backtracking I go. Boy is just skipping along. Ooh. We're giving him a bandit's razor. No crime is greater in this community than violating the integrity of body with a sharp piece of metal. Well, good to know. Kids are really fucking weird in this town. Probably not being a very responsible adult by trading them razors that I've taken off of bandits, but hey ho. It's one of the houses just ahead. Oh, it's this one here. Oh, shit. Everyone's dead here, see? No one knows why. Perhaps it's an echo of yesterday's vendetta. We're a bit lost about this loss ourselves. What am I supposed to do with the provisions? Dead if no use for it. Give your offerings to Lara. Wasn't it she that asked you to bring food? She wanted to call her shelter the House of the Living, didn't she? What, is she supposed to refashion her own home into a laser house now? She won't need it anymore anyway. Lara only had a few days left. Do persuade her to make the most of them. What, is she going to die? How should we know? We're not the ones in charge here. We only know one thing for certain. It won't take long. We have nothing to do with it. Who does then? That will become very obvious very soon. Hurry, or poor Lara will die of starvation today. I will find a way to get to you, just you wait. Oh shit, that's a plague cloud. Ah. So the town's already dying. Not a lot I can do about it. The House of the Living is decidedly gone. Perhaps we should keep venturing northwards. Tell Larry about our loss. How much in the way of ammunition do I have? I've got 3 extra bullets. Might not hurt to have a few more if there's anyone on the go. As the game progresses, I will be having to face off more and more people in combat. and it will get more and more difficult to do so. So it's probably best that I keep myself as prepared as I can. 3 children. I don't really want to trade with any of them now, though. I think I probably have enough bullets. And I really want to be saving up, just in case I find some very useful items. I want to have enough needles in order to be able to trade for them. But you do need rather a lot.
My lips are too dry.
I've obtained the rations, but there are very odd orderlies standing by the house you've directed me at. They're using theatrical masks and costumes as disease protection, as far as I understood. Yes, I know. House of the Living will have to be relocated here. Remember that you're always welcome at the shelter. We'll preserve the stock, distributing the food in small portions. We will make it. I hope it all ends soon. So, will I always be able to find Reuben board at your place? You will. Take this as a reward too. These are nuts. I've been given some today. It's great luck. They must have come from old cache. Do you know how to use them? Crack them before eating. What else am I supposed to do with nuts? No, don't eat them. Barter them. Our children would turn themselves inside out for these nuts. Keep them in mind, especially if you want to barter them for something dangerous. Why do they value nuts so highly? It's an old game. A child takes a nut and sends it on all sorts of adventures. At some point, adults took all nuts away from the kids. They thought that this game provoked them to do something risky themselves. The most wonderful thing is that the children remember almost every nut in the town by heart. What, does each one of them have its own story or something? I think so. Well, anyway, it's pure treasure. Thank you. I'll come by to see you soon. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 types of nut and a focusing lens. You can use the lens for something else, I'm sure. So, the House of the Living quest is now complete. Let's run. Next thing we need to do is go down and talk to Georgi Kaine, and then stop by at Eva's house to tell her that we are certainly not going to leave the town illegally. Certainly not. This game, I'm possibly not going to end up exhibiting just how difficult some of it is. I will be doing a copious amount of saving and reloading if I need to. And apparently a copious amount of getting stuck on invisible walls as well. But regardless, I'm not going to be giving the best impression of just how difficult some of the things in this game can be. A lot of it relies on good luck, and a lot of it relies on prior preparation if you want to really achieve the best outcome. The game is designed so that you will presumably fail at least some things. But if you're very lucky, if you have done it before, you might be able to get a decent shot at getting the best kinds of ending and finding all the secrets. So, that is visit Georgi Kaine. Time marches ever onwards.
Tell me what you want, and I will tell you who you are.
I feel guilty for having misled you, dear Bachelor. Forgive this old man. I thought your ignorance of our local affairs would mystically skew the circumstances in your favour. Forgive me if I was wrong. Is there no unexpected news to be heard? No. The disease is spreading around the town already. It is necessary that we urgently appoint all mid-level executives. Get the doctors and the hospital attendants. Let Saburov take care of that. After all, he was the one to demand emergency powers from us, which were granted. I've already sent all of my men to assist him, as well as an appreciable amount of money to further his administrative activities. We don't have any doctors or hospital attendants. The only man that knows something about medicine is currently examining my brother's body. It's strange that there's been no news from him so far. We must send someone after him. What about you? What are you going to do? We will fight until the very end. I will personally persecute those who would dare describe this disease as some kind of preordained divine retribution. I will attack anyone who will say that Simon got what he deserved. Finally, I will not allow anyone to say what Simon has built by ceaseless labour is subject to inevitable destruction. Retribution? For what? Sooner or later, the one who dares challenge the mechanics of nature will pay the price. But this is not something we'd want to believe, is it? This is a conclusion drawn by people who tend to mistake their exhaustion for wisdom. However, even an echo would sometimes grow to become a deafening noise. If people will keep saying that we're doomed, they might very well bring about our extinction. I would never draw a conclusion like this. That would bring my whole life work to naught. We're not different from each other, dear Bachelor. I am grateful for everything you've done for us. I appreciate the risk you took to help us, and I am much obliged for the disheartening conclusion that you have reached. No matter what you are going to do, you can count on our full support. The reward we have promised you will be duly delivered. Victor will make all the necessary arrangements. I won't leave you on your own in this battle, Georgi. We have a common foe, and we will fight this foe together. Can go back, well, all are in concordance with one another. Not a moment too soon. I can go back to Alexander now, for I still have to present my official papers to him and discuss my further authority. I'm bound by the power of my word. Whichever shape the enemy assumes, the substance of our confrontation remains the same. So, I am quite hungry again. May have to end up using most of my food, especially given that I gave a lot of it away. But I'll try and put it off for now. So, hello again, Eva. Let's discuss our certainly not escape plans.
They say he has donned the garb of his murdered father.
She is talking about the Haruspecs, Artemi Burach. Anyway, my heart is beating so heavily, it's about to jump out. Andrei's agreed, but he won't leave without Peter, and Peter doesn't want to go anywhere. I'll try to persuade him, but I don't think I'll succeed. Maria would do much better, though. Do you think she may agree to help? Is there no other way? I don't think I should discuss our escape plan with Maria Kaine. Why? Or is she... no, okay. Do you have any real proof of the forthcoming outbreak? I do. There is no other way. Talk to Maria. She's Nina's heir. The twins won't listen to anyone else but her. Peter is so unpredictable, but Maria knows how to clench his heart. One word from her would be enough for Peter to change his mind. I'll try. Well, back to the sorceress Maria Kaine. Probably shouldn't really call her a sorceress. Not really confirmed, but she certainly seems to have some vaguely supernatural powers. One of the frustrating things about the game, and a rather brilliant thing I find, is that given the scarcity of ammunition and bullets, every shot counts. So as such, if I do miss a headshot, I am likely to reload the game. I don't want to put anything at risk, especially of perhaps losing my progress. Polyhedron stands in all its tall glory. Brilliant and, some would argue, horrifying. So, let's open up this door, shall we? Hello there.
Oh, Mother. Why can't you be here with us?
Tell me, Maria, Do you have any influence on Peter Staunton? He is a greater influence on me. Why do you ask? I want to persuade the Brother Staunton to leave the capital, but Peter doesn't want to. How can I convince him? You want to take the Stauntons away from here? And you're asking me to help? You are obviously out of your mind. Who do you think I am? Oh, I see. You're laughing at me. But I'm too anxious now to smile at a good joke. I thought they were free people and had the right to do as they please. Don't even think about it. If they try to leave secretly, they will regret it. Andrew will be the first to. The great architects who once chose this town as their creative laboratory will not leave at a time like this. Tell them both that if they do not wish to drink the cup of Nina Kaine's daughter's wrath, they will stay quietly at home. Both of them. Ugh. That was perhaps stupid of me. I think I actually really screwed that up. Yeah, I think I might need to load the game. I do apologize, everybody. I will let you know when I've returned to this point and not accidentally botched the dialogue. So to continue on where I left off from last time, what you may have gathered from this is that if we do pick this dialogue option, it does just end that side quest as a failure. The reason being is that Maria Kaine wants the architects to stay in town. The architects are important to it. We'll find out a bit more about exactly why the architects are important a bit later on. Suffice to say, it has to do with the polyhedron that they built, and what the Kaines see in that polyhedron. For now. Your questions are very indiscreet. You've only known me for one day, and Daniel. I've known you for a little longer. Your curiosity will be sated in a little while. Allow me to torture you with obscurity for now. On the other hand, it's very simple. He, Peter Staunton, is a genius. Really? He must be constantly exposed to vicious hatred. Why? His way of thinking is provocation enough. What else do people hate one another for? People never hate geniuses more passionately than they crave them. Some would kill Peter. The rest are probably trying, quietly suffering, seeing him sink his talent into vodka. I see. And who would, say, want to kill Peter? You know, Saburov hates Peter. He wants to get back at him for something. I must protect him. If only Saburov seizes power he's so hopelessly trying to obtain, Peter will be the first to stand at the bone stake. Curious. You know, this gave me an interesting idea, because the last thing I wanted for him to die. Perhaps a little act of deception towards the Kaines, but I'd rather further my own agenda than theirs. I don't fully know if I trust Maria Kaine at all. She certainly knows more than she lets on, and I fear that she's using me as a pawn in one of her games, and I'm not comfortable with that. The Kaines all have their own game which they're playing, evidently. That goal in that game seems to be something beyond which I can really comprehend myself. But we'll find out more about it as we go. We're going all the way across and northwards, aren't we? And to talk to Peter and Andrei and Alexander Saburov. At this point I'm starting to ignore the children again, because for the most part they don't really have the kind of items that I need for trading with. The teenage boys tend to carry various types of medications, presumably ones that they've stolen. Teenage girls carry bullets, and I'm rather content with my bullet supply for the moment. The young boys seem to sell different types of medication, and the young girls also sell different types of medication. But crucially, they also can sometimes sell children's powders, one of which I have in my inventory right now. If I'm lucky, I might be able to find some more through the game as it progresses. So, given that we know that Mr. Saburov is getting emergency powers tomorrow, and Peter is perhaps on his chopping block, I feel that we should warn Peter about this, and maybe that will persuade him to take up our offer of escape.
What if he can mix herbs? Fancy that. A new brew can come out of this. A new... eh?
Haven't changed your mind, have you? No. I have news for you. This evening, Alexander Saburov will become the governor. Olgimsky and Kaine are going to vest him nearly unrestricted powers to curb the epidemic that your brother and you refuse to believe in. Bloody hell. You sure about this? I am. What of Georgi? What does the judge say? Oh, bloody hell. So Saburov will be the judge now too? Definitely. That's it, I'm a dead man. As luck would have it, happens exactly when I'm about to create a truly glorious masterpiece. Fine, let us go. So I'm telling Andrei you've agreed. The architecture for the polyhedron is curiouser and curiouser. One day we'll climb it. I'll show you what's at the top. But it won't be just yet. I have things to do in town first. So, I suppose I should tell Mr. Saburov that he now has all the emergency powers he sought after. I hope he's happy.
The rabble is completely out of control. They must have been bottling up their lowly instincts for quite some time.
I received express messages from Kaine and Olgimsky. No one will dare interfere with my choices now. We're declaring a quarantine. We'll create an anti-epidemic operational headquarters. I plan to assign ourselves to be its superiors. Myself, because it is my duty, and you, because that would be fair. We must fight shoulder to shoulder. Do you agree? You will declare quarantine as soon as the train with me on board disappears in the distance. I probably shouldn't tell him that. I need unrestricted authority, access to all districts, and a personal firearm. From now on, infected districts will be blocked off. No one will leave the town until the situation is resolved. You will be allowed access to any and all areas of the town, of course. Neither Kaine nor Olgimsky will have any right to stop you. We'll have to provide the population with clear instructions, but be careful about it. It's not my place to mentor you, though. How you plan to block the districts off? I will recruit volunteers. We will pick trustworthy ones, people of good standing, family men with good reputations. I will grant them the widest range of authority. They will thwart any violence or looting. They will also stop any attempts to use arms. Where and when can I be armed? Here, take good care of it. Firearms are rare in this town. If you need a gun, your best bet would be looking for it on the black market. Some townsfolk may keep makeshift, outdated, or prohibited guns. I'm sure those would do. I'm sure those who do will want to use them sooner or later. That's how we'll find them. They have almost none at hand. Truly regrettable. Thank you for this anyway. Do what you think is apt. I asked only two things of you. First, take good care of yourself. Eat, drink, sleep, be careful. I'm afraid many will take advantage of the situation to settle either old accounts or fulfill their hidden agendas. Secondly, spare those lives that can be spared. Thank you for the advice. Though I must admit it's rather useless given the situation. Quest complete. For the time being, the power struggle between the ruling families has ceased. They've appointed Alexander Saburov as governor and granted him full civil and judicial control over the town. As such, he has declared a state of emergency. He will quarantine the town, and now everyone is looking to me to suggest a further course of action. Feel slightly bad about abandoning it, but if it is as bad, the plague as it implies, ain't no way I'm sticking around to die. Oh, my hunger. Let's go tell Andre that his brother is happy. The rains come. The weather turns, as does the mood of the town.
Laura and her company are buying up all food in town. Are we at war again?
Your brother has agreed. Well, don't let the door hit our asses on the way out, then. Plenty more shitholes in the world. I might need a gun, though. Do you of you got a weapon? I could use more. Right, let's do the preparations separately, then. Here's some money. The black market around here is run by a mongrel calling himself Bad Grief. Have you met the rodent already? No, I don't have the time for it. Resides at the northern warehouses. And so, you can always find human-killing stuff at Grief's. Now then, he'll always obviously try and rob you the best he can, but you only need to say Andrew is off to the kennel to him and he'll change the tune immediately. He may even give you something for free. Okay, then what? Then you come back. Meanwhile, I'll try and think of a good way to get on Gugong's good side. Who's Gugong? One of the locals, the deaf and dumb train driver. Not quite human, made of soil and bones, glued together with sticky blood and inspired with thick twittering, just like all his step brethren. Break his neck, but the engine wouldn't go anywhere without him. Don't you frown. I'll deal with him. Oh, that is fortunate. Gun and ammunition. Let's go and meet Griff, our local black market dealer. I am ostensibly taking up all of the weaponry in this town that I can find to lay my little hands on. But generally speaking, guns, they sell for a fair chunk of money. And if I can trade in a decent gun, I get a lot of money for it, even if it's not in very good state of repair. Oh, I can't walk across the road. I have to cross the bridge. Genuinely didn't know that. Thought I could just walk through the river. Well, almost we go. Soon we will meet Griff. Named Griff in previous versions. I may accidentally slip back into the old game's nomenclature and keep calling him Griff. I'm gonna have some difficulty navigating this warehouse. I always do. The one with the fire burning outside it is how you recognise the door, but remembering how to get here, that's a little bit more tricky. Well, let's have a chat to Griff, shall we? Thugs and marauders. And the occasional Twirring girl prostitute.
Yeah?
Welcome, welcome, dear guest. Give the man something to drink, let him take a bite, sit him down comfortably. Show our big city guest some respect, and don't let him out until I say otherwise. Enough. Wanna play cards? Dice. The stakes ain't big city, but the game's pretty gritty. No. Since we've just met, Doc, you go in peace, for the first and the last time. But next time, your exit will cost extra. Next time it'll be you begging me to come.
Many a one says ill that sleeps well.
Dear men bring dire omens that will cost us dearly, dear Doc. I have business to discuss with you. Well, we're all business people here. Speak up, mate. I want to buy medical supplies from you. Won't sell you nothing. Don't have any. You're lying, of course you have some. Quite the contrary, Doc, quite the contrary. I buy them drugs for sure, just bring me some. See how everything's going round down here, and you want to rob us of our pills. You do not have my consent to that. They'll save us from the fever. What do you mean you'll buy any pills? Well, no, I'm not an idiot, mate. The sovereign ones. Words gets around, you know. Everyone knows what works and what doesn't. I'm warning you, the demand for those is huge like a bull. If you need ammo, though, I could see to that, no problem. Nothing's too good for my dear man, you sly weasel.
Saburov will regret this. Haste makes waste.
Grief. What's going on in the cemetery? The boss turned out to be a cunt, the big guy, that is. Plagues all around. And there he is, giving absolutely zero shits about the people. He probably knew about the whole thing all along and didn't say a thing. But you seem to care about the people oh so very much. Could you please remind me whose bastards were killing peaceful civilians right before my very eyes? Take me for a bastard, eh, Doc? We don't take very kindly to murderers around here, we don't. Whoever kills with a knife is no mate to us. We'll be tearing the bitch apart ourselves in no time. If someone sidles over to you with a knife, Doc, kill him and kill him fast. We won't take no offense to that. That's comforting.
A part of sent to the well is broken at last.
I want to buy something less than legal from you. Griff can offer me various items. He can offer me a rifle, which I have no capacity to afford, a revolver, which I might be able to afford, knives, which I can loot myself anyway, not worth 4,000, lockpicks, not worth the price, Twirine, not worth the price he's selling it for, ammo that I cannot afford the ammunition that the price that he's charging, and perhaps rifle ammunition. Although he's not charging very much for the rifle ammunition, likely because I can't get a rifle just yet. It's tempting to buy some, but at the same time I suspect it might not necessarily be the best of ideas. Well, I'll trade in that gun. Yeah, he'll happily give me that weapon for it, so that's the gun Saburov gave me and the one that I currently have equipped. But that's a fairly decent price for a small number of bullets. I'm taking the gloves off now.
What is to be?
Not really sure what that animation's supposed to be, but I need a weapon, Grief. Everybody needs a weapon. Got $1 million? We'd even give you something that shoots for $1 million. There ought to be a gun somewhere around here, eh? Just one, pretty please. But everything has its price. $1 million? A price tag befits an artillery motor, mate. Oh no, my lovely man. The mortar is a gift, it is. You can't go shooting them robbers in the dark alley with a mortar. A Barker, on the other hand. But it'd probably cost you even more dearly, dear Doc. Andre is off to the kennel, Grief. That changes things. Take this one for free, but I ain't be doing much shooting for too long. It'll suit me just fine. 15 rounds of ammunition and a spare pistol. Poor durability, but it'll
A
do.
fool's tongue is long enough to... They're carving up the town. It's clear who's gonna bag the prize. The Kaines aren't getting back enough feet in it.
I'm still going with pseudo-Irish as my default accent when I narrate Griff. rather not go with deep south US for him. There's some other people that I think might suit that kind of accent slightly better. I mean, I'm just saying, when you think of criminal underworld. This is Ruben's laboratory, by the way.
I haven't slept for 3 nights straight. I don't think I'll manage another one.
We'll come back here later. However, Ruben should be currently examining the body. So, returning to Andre we go. I'm relatively happy with the amount of money that we currently have on our person and what we traded for it. We have now a decent amount of ammunition. We have guns for days. Wow. We have a very good gun. It should last us a good long while. However, each shot fired from it will reduce its capacity to shoot further. I only lost 2 shots from it so far, but it's already taken the durability down to 96%. From that you might gather that each shot takes off 2% durability, therefore I only had 50 shots before it breaks. I can get my guns repaired, however. For not too high a price. Right, let's talk to Andre.
Why are you standing there like a dummy?
All set, we're armed. Okay, let's meet by the station at 10 PM. Don't go too close to the engine, though. I won't. So 10 PM we'll meet at the station. Train station is down here, down in the south. So I think we should probably head somewhere around the old Ginsky Manor. That's probably a good place to set our base camp from before going a bit further south. Right. Using your bed. The hunger marker is creeping up steadily and slowly. I must be careful. Okay. It is now nightfall. I'm going to use this opportunity to pause, and soon we'll find out what happens when we try and escape this dread town. See you later.